So that is what it is. So let me just ask you one simple question, okay?
Yes,
Uh, just a minute, okay? Yeah, Subhash, Venkat.
Sir,
Yeah,
by
go ahead.
mistake. Sorry.
Oh, by mistake. Okay. Yeah. So you guys learned about inodes, right? Can you tell
yes,
me
sir.
what did you understand from the concept of inodes? What are inodes?
Uh, it is an entry number for a file.
Entry number where?
Uh,
So let me rephrase this question. Okay. So you guys are all from electronic systems background, right? Say you eventually end up, doing all this hard coding for your chip. You want to manage your memory. For the managing memory, you need to have some kind of file system installed in it, right? A file system needs to have a particular structure to it. In this particular context, in Linux, the way file is being managed by the Linux operating system is through inodes, right? How does Linux knows where the file is saved and how it is saved? If you are from from ES background, can anyone just uh, maybe a guess, or can tell me how usually files are stored in a hard disk, magnetic disk, or
Ones and
even disk?
zeros.
So it is just series of ones and zeros, right, which usually is get stored. But you know on the disk, how do you know where to start and where to end?
Sir, there will be something like little Indian and big Indian.
There will be what?
Little Indian and big Indian systems.
Still not clear, I think. This letter. Yeah. What are you saying?
Little Indian and big Indian systems. How
Hmm.
they store?
Okay. So how do they store? Can I elaborate?
Yes, sir. If you say that they use little Indian, they'll start from the reached address.
Hmm.
The most significant bit goes to the reached address.
Hmm.
If
But
they say
how do you know? Like, say I am saving a file. Say you created a file called, hello.txt or anything on your Linux operating system. What information of that particular file do you need to be stored for it you to know where it is,
some memory address,
right? Where, like in memory address, what all you need to have information regarding a particular file? Like, let me rephrase it, okay? Say, usually what usually happens, that in 8 bits it is stored, each information,
yes, sir. Memory addresses are 8 bits.
8 bits, right?
Yes, sir.
So, how many bits form bytes? A byte,
8 bits.
8 bits form a byte.
right? So, all the, like, assume you have a hard disk platter, maybe magnetic in nature. You have all of this physical location on a hard disk where you have ones and zeros. So, if say you have a north south pole, on your each of the bits, right? Maybe a north would indicate 0 and south would indicate 1. Okay. If that with that logic, if I go, I can store, like, just by using a simple recorder which will flip the uh, magnetic pole, right? We can record a full file with it, right? So traditionally what we think is that 8 bits is enough to start a file, like for any of the character, right? So for me to know where the file exists, where it starts, right, on a hard disk physically, and where it ends, there has to be some construct, some logic which we need to build in your hard disk into how you will read them. Okay. So you need to have at least the smallest fragment into which you can store a file. Each of this fragment will have some information regarding what is being stored in the following memory addresses. So initial part of the memory addresses will always store the information regarding what the following bits will contain. So it is kind of a metadata about the file which is stored at the beginning of it. Okay. So an inode essentially, like when you first, for the first time you format your hard drive and install a Linux onto it, what this file system does is that It creates certain set of uh, certain like exact certain number of uh, inodes into that table. Each of these inodes stores the metadata of a file. Okay, it doesn't like the file starts where, to where, what is permission strings. Like you have learned about a command, right, which will tell you regarding uh, the file, right, its location and everything, what information there is in an inode. I think stat command is right. Can anyone share their screen and show me a stat command? Hello, am I audible?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so can anyone tell me about the stat command? Stat command is start, right? Is it stat or
Yes,
is it?
sir.
Hello. So you
Sir.
guys noted down the, what command gives you what information.
So, is the screen visible?
Yeah, it is visible. Okay. Yeah. So this is your stat command, right? And this you are running over a documents, right? Is a document folder or is it a file?
It's a directory, sir.
Right. It is a directory, and its information is stored inside this, right? This is
Yes,
your
sir.
metadata which is being stored in your inodes. It tells you all the information you may need. It may tell you the access, uh, when it was first created, when it was modified. All of that information is stored. It also stores the information regarding read-write permissions, right? It tells
Yes, sir.
you at what inode number it is starting. So say, assume you have your disk is like maybe pizza, right? And a pizza should have only 8 slices. Say you have large pizza, so it is like that there are fixed number of slices your hard disk will have, and each of that slice is represented as an inode. Okay, this inodes, once they are formed at the beginning of your installation, they will remain as is. So, like in your usual scenario, right, if you are using Linux only for your personal purpose, you may not ever come to a point where all of your inodes are being used. Okay, but there may come some time if you are using on a server, your inode may get exhausted, especially when it is storing information, like so many small files into it. File will have its own inode. Okay, so that is what uh, basically an inode does.
sir, like then an inode will have some fixed space,
Yeah, each inode is like an unit.
some
You
memory
think
block.
of it is like that. So it tells you, right, if you run a stat, it tells you how many blocks it has, right?
Yes, sir.
It, so how many links also it has, right? You have learned about soft links and hard links, right?
Yes, sir.
Soft link and hard link.
Sir, can you once summarize about soft links and hard links?
No, just whatever you have learned, right, from the soft link. So I need to have a starting point for me to enter into a discussion. So anyone can tell me what is a soft link and what is a hard link. Any guesses? Any similarity between something similar you find in Windows system? Maybe if you're familiar with Windows system.
Are there like shortcuts in Windows?
Yes, it is more like a shortcuts, right? But so if you have gone through the lectures, just let me just tell me what is like key difference what professor talks about between a soft link and a hard link. Can you go to Aditya? Can you go to your maybe? your bin folder. Okay, slash bin folder you go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just a minute.
Mm. So there are like few of the concepts, I will try to explain, but I want, inputs from you also, so that I can help you out to understand the concepts better. Okay, run ls hyphen li. Mm. So yeah, can anyone tell me, what you are saying? Because I think Sir has extensively covered ls command, right? Can you scroll up? Let's go to the beginning of the output. Okay. Okay, let's go at the end of the output. That is also
That's all it shows, sir. It doesn't show the starting command.
yeah, because it went out of your memory. Go down all the way.
Yes, sir.
The now total number of files you have, the way you have configured, right? It will only save set number of files, lines.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can. I could use the more command to show it systematically.
That is also fine. A more command you have learned
Yes, sir.
in first week.
No,
Yes,
no,
sir.
not in first week, but
In
No, sir,
second
we
week,
have learned.
you have learned, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
So there
So
are 597,964.
okay. So can I ask you a quick question regarding more command? In more command, you can also use parameters to search through a file. See, I want to search for um, maybe grep is there. Maybe grep will be there. Yeah. Can you search a particular keyword using more command? Do you know how to do it?
Yes, sir. Forward slash.
Hmm. Aditya, just follow what Krishnan is saying. Exactly the same.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Yeah.
He is very well trained than me. So,
No, it is fine.
yeah.
Yeah. Just in more command, right? No, not. You don't even have to do this. Go. Just what do you call it? You're using pipes, right? This is advanced levels thing. Maybe let it be. Just LSLI is also fine for me right now. Okay. Maybe we will go. I think after week 2, right? We'll revisit this. So the point here I am trying to drive is your first column is your inodes, right?
Yes, sir.
Inode numbers, and the other big numbers you see is the file size, right?
Which second column or which one?
The next big column in terms of number is right next to the date column, right?
Yes, sir. Size.
Right. And if you want to see human readable, what is the? Just go back to that.
Hy
Hyphen
hyphen H.
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 H, yes. Just go back to LSLI. Simple plain stuff. Yeah, yeah. LH you add just for them to see the human readable size, right? H you add H. No, LIH. It can be clubbed together. Yeah, Sumit, YouTube we will be publishing it on our uh, YouTube website. Okay. The live right now is not working. Okay. So here you can see that you can easily see in terms of kilobytes and bytes, right? In your size column. Okay. Your first column is your inodes. So quick question: what is this arrow is representing in this particular output? You see in the last column, right? Some of the file names
Yes,
has
sir.
little arrow and it is directing you to someplace else,
Symbolic link.
Sir, it's a symbolic link arrow.
right? And how do you
Yes, sir.
identify a symbolic link?
It has the L letter in the
Right.
starting.
So
Yes,
if
sir.
you look at the beginning of it, you see L and then the permission string starts, right? RWX and all that. So that is way you can identify a symbolic link. What about a hard link? How will you identify it? Can you see any of the file which has a hard link here?
Yes, sir. Mm,
Yeah, which file is it?
Uh,
from like
Many
whatever we
files.
see right now?
Uh,
From the output, what he's showing, right? Can anyone identify if there is any hard link present here? How do you identify if
uh,
it is a hard link or not?
The
that is
number after the
the
permission string.
permissions.
Hmm?
The number
The
after
number
the
after the
permission string.
permission.
Yeah, so it's a very good important indication. Okay, number after the permission tells you how many links it has, right? How many hard links it has, right? Not the soft links. So I see only one file which has that zip info, right? The zip info file, which is from the bottom, I think.
It has two.
Yeah, it says it has two links, but I don't see the two links here. How else can you identify the hard link? What is the condition for a hard link?
Two. More than one has same inode number.
Yes. So inode number is essentially is the criteria, right? If two files shares the same inode number, then they are hard links of each other.